Call the spaceships to Davenport, prepare for divanarchy, and interface with a couch in space. It's Space Couch. Time was when I thought I made that intro song just a little bit too long. I timed out just how long it would take to refresh the page here. But since we are doing a little bit of live TV, that sometimes requires a little bit of live maintenance. So let me just do a little sharing, and we'll get it going in just a second. How you been there on Earth? You know, it's been all right. It's been all right out here in space. Just flying through meteor showers and various heavenly bodies. Speaking of heavenly, our sponsor this week is from Beyond the Astral Plane. Brand new, of course. We always like to change up the sponsor for every episode. It is Tiger Squawk Records. You're going to want to check out the new Crudmouth album. We're very happy with that. You also want to check out Dagobert featuring Melting Rust Opera out of Germany. Night Vibes from Ghost Proxy, recent guest of the show. Melting Rust Opera themselves has a first official Tiger Squawk release. Virtual Terrorist put out a killer remix album. You want to check out Gutter Mixes. Crudmouth, that's me and Big Time Kill. You'll want to check out Batavia and their friends, science fiction. Beta Virus is on that. New from Isserly, it's Sad Girls Club Volume 5. Gothsicles just put out Animal Songs. You also want to check out Putting the Stars Right. It's officially out now. New tracks from Gothsicle Science Fiction, as well as Fresh Faced Teens, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, Attrition, Final. That's a Godflesh side project. That all benefits the Lovecraft Arts and Sciences Council, which is feeling it from the whole pandemic thing. Speaking of feeling it, I am feeling it. It's in the air. This is going to be a spectacular episode. I'm really excited about today's guest. We've known each other for a long time, and he's just been crushing it lately. So we're going to figure it all out. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, from so many things, David Christian. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Happy to be out here in space. But it gets a little lonely out here in the cosmos. So we get to bring on superstars of industrial music, like yourself.
Does that even exist?
It is, all things are possible out here where space and time sort of curve. So we'll make it happen. Dude.
You look great, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
I can't remember the last time we actually saw each other in person.
I don't. I want to say it might have been on tour. We were on tour with Angel Spit, and we'd gone through Chicago, and you had swung by to see us play live.
Oh, right.
But we played Chicago in the middle of a Cubs game downtown, so traffic was just horrific.
I remember the venue had a black toilet.
We request that, actually. The Gothsicles don't play unless there's a black shitter.
That's pretty cool.
What's up to Mad Monster Party on Twitch? First in the chat room today.
Hi, Mad Monster Party.
Speaking of dark shit, I could go in any number of a million ways here, but let's start with SquareWAV Productions. What is SquareWAV Productions?
Well, if you remember, CrunchPod went under,
right.
Or just, Cat decided not to do it anymore. And he was very gracious to say, hey, I got all your CDs. If you want to make the drive up here, they're all yours.
Really?
So I drove to like Sacramento or Folsom, wherever he was, and picked up all the CDs. And I was like, what am I going to do with all this? And the newly, all the music that I released on. Well, I only released like 2 albums, but I was just like, what am I going to do with this? So I did like the online label, which everybody was, that was kind of coming out at the time. It was like, oh, okay, we're shifting from like physical to, digital releases and stuff. A lot of digital labels, and it was just a way to sell my music, because I was like on my own, and I just getting on the Crunchpod label was like felt like a big deal to me at the time, because I was like, yay, I'm finally on a label, like when you're a band starting out and you're like, I gotta get on a label, because then like I'm gonna make it big, and I don't care what label it is, but it's gonna be if I'm on it, it's gonna be great.
Right.
Everyone, of course, like wanted to get on the Metropolis label.
You've never heard of them. No, I sent him a bunch of shit.
But yeah, I then I just did, all you need for a label is a Bandcamp, right? So I did that, but later on, I'm just like, maybe it's a better use of that tool to also actually support some friends. So I have a friend, Mauricio, and he runs where he has a project called Bioassay. And I decided, instead of like spending money to print physical product, because I learned from Ben, who had all my CDs that I went to pick up, because there were I still have the CDs here. There's a stack here of CDs that are like, by now I get like a few sales like now and then. So I was like, why don't I spend this money on better uses than something that people don't want anymore.
Right.
So how about pay Tom Shear to do a remix? So there was a Assemblage 23 remix of the Bioassay EP, and I thought that was great.
Totally.
So I think just better spending your resources, your money on things with a label. I don't knock physical. I've released physical stuff on the label too. But yeah, since then, I've just trying to help some friends out that like maybe needed a little more attention. So I did some releases. So that was a label. That was a music label, and then that went to podcasts because as we'll talk further. I don't want to. Yeah.
So you have a plug your podcast real quick, man.
Well, it's Wavecast, which is it's anything from mixtapes like to actual like DJ mixes. Everything is like all one mix, and it's bands to like artists, DJs, Skeleton Hands, which is a band that I toured with too. I love Skeleton Hands, big fan of Skeleton Hands. They did a cool mixtape thing where like in the middle of it, you could hear a tape going like on the other side.
Nice.
And it was kind of cool.
Very cool. So we catch the Wavecast. Is that, I saw that it was chiefly on SoundCloud. Is that right? Or are there other places we should get that?
It is on SoundCloud, and the one-stop shop is SquareWAV.com. If you go to SquareWAV.com and you go to like Wavecasts, there's a page and it has all of them there. You can stream them from there. It'll take you to the SoundCloud. There's even one by Roger O'Donnell from The Cure.
Nice.
Yeah, I bumped into him at a bar because it's Hollywood. Like, oh, here, there's like the keyboardist for the Cure.
Wow.
And I don't know what took the balls of me, but I'm like, hey, I like your. I went that angle. I was like, hey, I like your original music, because he was doing a side project thing. And I was like, I want to promote it. I want to help promote it. Just, get him, if you could get me a mix. So he just did like a mix of like songs.
That's dope, dude.
I put that out. So that's up there too.
So,
but no, it's great. It's recently it's more. I've been trying to just diversify things and like get a lot of attention more towards like artists and DJs that maybe I can expose to my network. Like they have their network, and I want to maybe expose them to everyone that follows me. So our latest mix was DJ Charlize, she's a great DJ, and I saw her spin up at Verboten, and she does like some cool EBM stuff, and we've had her stream on our channel, and it's up there now. It just got like released this week, so it's pretty cool.
Really cool, man. And that's all within the Wavecast. You will check that out. Now, I think a lot of people would be more than content with a record label podcast combination, but you've taken it to many other levels. We also have Wave TV.
Yes. Wave TV, you've been doing this since before the pandemic,
Yeah.
right? So, I think it was actually trending before the pandemic, because you had some techno outlets that had like Core and Boiler Room, where you had streamed sets, and I wanted to do that with our clubs, because I started promoting here in LA. So we did some events and stuff, and I wanted to show that these performances online live. And the Wi-Fi was always shitty. I didn't know what OBS was at the time. Like, and I'm like, it would be cool to have a chat room, but like everybody's just telling me to do, I think it was Discord, or there was another one that they were like, oh yeah, you got to go on this other chat room. Because it's funny how it's turned full circle, huh? Like, I don't know about you, but 20 years ago, I was in a chat room.
Oh, like, that's fucking funny, dude.
Yeah. I was awkwardly going to goth clubs, and I didn't know anybody. So I was in the chat room, and I would talk about the night before. I was like, hey, I met this person at the goth club. And blah, blah.
Just MIRC. Oh, gosh, that's hilarious. I didn't think about that. But yeah, we did. It's been a 20-year circle.
Yeah, and like now, just before this, I was like, oh, I kind of almost wish, we went back to that a little bit, and I got my wish, but I didn't want it to happen this way.
Yeah, we are of a like mind on that. Like, I'm for whatever personal rush I get, like playing shows or whatever. Like, it's a bit of a slog for me, just emotionally, to like hang out at a club. And I'm just so much better at it online. And now I've done like events in this show and stuff online, but it has been a hefty price. Like, any concert I was going to see has been pushed way back. Several festivals I think you and I were both going to play have been rescheduled twice, sometimes 3 times. Now it's pretty brutal.
Yeah. Like, a lot of people are going through this differently, and they're taking it, harder, and it's, you can't blame them, or you can't say, hey, toughen up.
Right.
But just speaking from myself, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of opportunities that, oh man,
there is.
I don't want to even remind myself of all the stuff I miss, but there's a lot of stuff that's happened since then that's actually been kind of cool with the whole
you
Twitch
are not
movement
wrong.
and that. Yeah. So yeah, Wave TV has the Twitch, obviously. It's SquareWAV TV, and without the E, SquareWAV TV.
Can't have that.
But you could just go to, people who don't like Twitch, just go to squareWave.com. It's embedded in there. You could just watch it off my website. And then also on YouTube, we do specialized stuff like that. The Hands Party. In Germany, they had, with precautions, they had a market for the label that I'm on, the Hands label. And people were going there with masks, distancing, and they were buying music, buying CDs, vinyl, and also listening to music. So I coordinated with my label to do a podcast or pre-stream where they're driving to the venue. They could watch me DJ all the Hands
amazing.
Music. So,
you set me up for that perfectly. We'll cut to that in just a second. I want to give a shout out to Low Key Doom 666 and his wonderful Techno Viking icon and friend of the show, DJ Shiza is Dre is in the place. Let's take a look at that Hands pre-party. Here's a little clip. little manual switch there. What's up to Ulilax Mentat, the spice must flow, a rare YouTube watcher. So that was amazing. You can catch 3 hours of David dropping some amazing DJ mixes of ostensibly hand stuff.
Well, it's great. Those hand sets are great because the catalog is so vast and like diverse that you could do 3 hours and still do another hour. Just like I bet someone could do a Metropolis only,
Oh, I
set.
mean, and
That's
oftentimes do.
that's true. Yeah.
We haven't even gotten into your vast catalog. Speaking thereof, of your personal output, but since we were sort of talking about this, you have put together a non-zero amount of meat space events, if you will, in the past. But you've done a lot of coordinating of other things, right? Like you've put together a fair amount of live events, right?
You mean online or
Yeah,
beforehand?
I'm sorry. Well, both.
Oh, yeah. Well, the online stuff was a result of, trying to keep everyone safe, but also mentally giving everybody like sound mental health, throughout this, because you can't just say don't go to clubs,
Right.
Until this is settled, but like just stay in your room and stay in where you are, and not communicate with other people about music or like share ideas. Right. That's really depressing. It's like you got all this stuff like happening, and it can't be any worse. You can't make it any worse. So we were doing events before. I decided, because Los Angeles is very crowded with parties. There's a lot of parties. There used to be parties every night, but now everybody seems to be crowding around the same days and stuff. And it's great because you have like diverse music. Well, I mean, within the goth industrial realm. But there really wasn't this area for like the experimental stuff or like the noisy stuff. And Bunker had been doing it in the past, but they gravitated towards a more mainstream thing. But occasionally they would have like acts that, would be, cutting edge but they kind of were booking more like even gothic bands and stuff like that, and synth pop bands. And it's like, they weren't totally devoted to, the harder stuff, the more experimental stuff. Plus it was great to have like a venue in downtown LA, and like have a bunch of friends that that are really talented come together and do some
sounds amazing
together. Yeah, so we would do that. And the Lash is a special place because it's like downtown LA. It's the middle of Skid Row, so it's kind of depressing as you go in there. You see
really?
Like,
okay.
People who are down and out. Yeah, you could catch tuberculosis.
Wow.
You're down the street from the Cecil Hotel, so spirits may wander in. And I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
But what Dave Havoc could walk in there at any time. Like we've seen him a few times. Like any kind of celebrity goes in there. So it's weird, you can play all this cool music in there, and that you'll have exposure to people who might normally not hear that kind of music. Go in and say, "Whoa, this is cool!" Like, because we started doing our sets, and these two twins came in, and they would like break dance, like to like the techno noise stuff. And I was like,
"That's awesome."
I don't know if these dudes know the kind of like the name of this artist that we're playing, but they're certainly enjoying it. So we made a few bucks here and there off the bar, and we decided, since we like have like a lot of talent every month, like, and to give everybody like $5,
right?
It's like, what is that going to do? So we just decided to funnel that and make it into like fundraisers.
Cool.
So
wow.
Every month so it was great because it's something that we could all promote our music, have fun doing, and then also raise money for charity. So we raise money for local charities and the ACLU.
Look at you, that's kick-ass, man.
Yeah, when we went to online, it got bigger. Those fundraisers got bigger because we got friends from all over the world, all over the country, and it's been pretty cool. Like, so that in a way, that's a good thing that happened out of the pandemic, is like we were able to connect with people from Germany to the UK to Chicago, New York, LA, all connected, and like hearing our music, and we're promoting our
Hell
friends,
yeah, man.
projects and stuff.
So,
You know.
wow. I mean, what do you think? How do you find the online shows versus what you did at the Lash? Like,
Well, yeah, well, the online, the things at the Lash, the shows at the Lash, are sort of limited
Mhm.
because we don't have a budget and things go for charity. So, we're limited in artists we can book. But, if we are doing it for charity, like
Mhm.
some artists are very humble to play our event. Like we had Reese Fulber do our event. We had
Wow.
John Fryer DJ at our event, and that was a trip. He played
Hell
some
yeah, man.
Converter. And I
Wow.
was like, I turned my head, like, whoa.
Right?
Which he's got like his Black Needle Noise project,
Okay.
which is pretty cool to check out. Yeah, he was a great guy, and yeah, so
That's
we had like, it's not taking away from any of the artists that we usually book and our friends and stuff, like, because everyone we're interacting with are pretty talented,
mhm.
but they're just not big names that like, we have to like pay a lot of money for.
Right.
So like, people do it just for fun or promoting their project. So with this, it's easier to book our friends overseas, because I don't have to pay a flight for Daniel Meyer to
Right.
DJ, but I can promote his release.
That's
He
cool, man.
he did our last event,
Awesome. Wow.
and the other thing is we can't do a 24-hour event at the Lash, and doing
Yeah.
these 24-hour events are insane. Like, it's a lot of fun.
Mhm.
We get everybody from all over the world involved, and me, like, sometimes I'll try to get some sleep in between sets, but it's mostly like a 1 hour broken sleep day for
Wow.
me on those 24-hour streams.
24-hour streams, man. You are a
It's
warrior.
it's fun as hell. I mean, it's not just me, it's everybody
Right.
involved, everybody helps.
Sure, but
And
like you gotta oversee it to a certain extent.
I trust a lot of the people that we
Uh-huh.
work with, because we've been working with the DJs and stuff, streamers for like a year,
Mhm.
and some of it is pre-recorded as opposed to live, and it
Sure.
doesn't matter right now. I mean, it's whatever you can do,
Right.
So
And that's the way
that
we do it
stuff.
for Squawk Stock. That's the one I did was like 12, 14 hours. It wasn't
Yeah.
24, but I
Oh,
was dead at the end of that. So I
we're
can't
working on
imagine.
something else too.
Oh!
I don't want to. I don't know if I want to say it, but yeah, because a lot of the stuff in the news with the anti-Asian hate crime stuff.
Mhm.
So we're trying to work on a charity for that.
Kick ass.
Yeah.
Speaking of kick ass, what's up to kick ass artists Endif and Grasp Logic in the
Jason.
chat room? What's up, Jason?
What's up, Jason?
The oh, sorry, I was stalling a bit there, just because the record label sort of like it's the feeling was behind the word record label has sort of changed over the years. Kind of like you said 20 years ago, I got to get on a label, and now it's I don't know if it's like more of a collective club thing. Like, where do you think? What's the role of a record label in 2021?
Oh yeah, it is a luxury.
Mhm.
People who have labels have psychologically, it's like, oh wow, somebody is willing to invest a lot of money into making a physical product that they know is really good, so
Mhm.
maybe I should check it out. Like, so.
Okay.
And there's also, when a label puts that much money into your release, they're going to put a lot of money into promotion, or they
Mhm.
should. So that's a different thing that a record label, as opposed to self-release, has. But yeah, it is really a luxury at this time, because like people aren't really buying CDs.
Yeah, that's true.
Even the vinyl stuff is going down, I've heard, especially with the shipping costs here in the US. And now in the UK, I think a lot of the shipping in the UK is impossible.
Yeah.
So you're basically paying like $50 for one record. It's like shipping and the record, or well, that's the very least, a record that has
I
two songs
definitely
on
know.
it.
I launched a Kickstarter that went really well, but shipping costs changed from like while it was going. So like I'm losing money on sending a lot of these records overseas, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's really
Yeah.
bad. Like
But I gotta
Canada.
say, I gotta say, I don't know if you're familiar with Rustblade Records.
Sure.
Rustblade is Stefano. He also does D2X, and he's been killing it in the vinyl game because he does a lot of reissues for horror soundtrack music. So he's done like Suspiria,
awesome,
and Deep Red, and he released. I slept on this. He released a Black Sabbath vinyl that I would have loved to get my hands on. And because of all the horror stuff, Italian horror stuff, I thought it was the Black Sabbath movie.
Oh, no.
So I was like, it's cool, but I might not get it.
Right.
And then he was like, no, it's the actual Black Sabbath. So
I
slept on that. But yeah, I think there's like little areas in the market where you could make money from it. He's doing well doing that because these are collector's items. A lot of horror fans go for the collector's items. And he does like really good quality work stuff.
Very cool.
And I actually have a project with him. We have a project called Tibia.
Tibia.
Yeah,
well, let's tell me about Tibia.
It's like old school sounding 80s synth music, kind of like The Thing soundtrack.
Stuff awesome.
Kind of like John Carpenter-esque type music. And it's called Tibia. And in the 80s, I spent a good amount of time in Italy, and they had a character that was like the Crypt Keeper, only his name was Zio Tibia. And,
like as in the leg bone?
You could, yeah, I guess, yeah. I guess they're just like, the Italians are like, what sounds creepy? Tibia, But you could actually watch it on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we have this project, but this is like one of those projects that are really it's not really for online. It's, we planned the tour, we have a video.
Oh, awesome.
Vinyl, all that stuff. But when there's a way for people to like sell that music now, but we feel like we can't, we have to wait until things get better and we can actually go out and promote that. So
can
that's
we
one
check
of the
out
projects.
Tibia now? Is there like a Bandcamp you want to toss out?
It's on Spotify. It's on the Rustblade Bandcamp. You could buy that, and it's got a few remixes. You got like one track and some remixes.
Loki Doom 666 says I find that humorous. Like the leg bone. One more thing about SquareWAV. I'm sort of killing this wonderful segue you set up to your own stuff, but I want to give you an opportunity to brag about any recent releases on SquareWAV if you want to promote any here on in outer space.
Yeah. I mean, well, we have this split tape that came out, and it is Hex Wolves and Snow House.
Nice.
Hex Wolves. I don't know if you know Hex
Wolves.
Yeah, Ben. And I feel like that was a great release, and we did it after the pandemic, and it hasn't got enough attention.
Okay.
But yeah, we do have like some physical stuff, mostly tapes.
Okay.
I find that like people love the tapes because there's a lot of tape collectors there, and they're not as expensive to invest in as vinyl or CDs. So I'm cool with making a very limited run tape.
Awesome. Yeah. I played a show in Canada right before the pandemic, and like a bunch of people asked me if I had any tapes, and I was like, no. And then I found out, like, oh, okay, they all want tape. So good on you for doing that. Well, maybe we'll do it, and we'll check out. What was the name of that Hex Wolves release?
Hex Wolves / Snow House. Snow House is an artist that was playing one of the parties here in LA, and then they played our. We have actually. I should talk about the event we're having, the online event we're having this Wednesday.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's a tribute to women in electronic music, and we would do that this will be our third one. We did it every year, and Snow House played one of those events. And I believe she played one of those events. But yeah, she does like this cool, you'll hear it, but it's like, it's not, I can't say it has a hard edge to it, but there are some harder elements, but it's very trippy. Like you listen to it, it's very trippy. And I think it's perfect for a tape release.
Sounds
so
great.
I thought the pairing of Hex Wolves and Snow House was a good pairing.
Is that twitch.tv/SquareWave on Wednesday?
On Wednesday, either squarewave.com or
squarewave.com. No E.
Yeah, twitch.tv /SquareWave TV without the E.
It's
TV.
This is a rave in the 90s because we're dropping the E.
Yeah. Well, I keep, I mean, a few people have asked me, but SquareWave is the first file I ever created on my computer.
Nice.
Yeah, square.wave. It was a square sounding sound, and it was square.wave. And I don't know how that just stuck with me. And I'm like,
very cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, well, it is. You're doing a ton of great stuff. We will check that out Wednesday. Speaking of cool stuff, we got to get into your personal catalog. Let's start with Body Divide. I thought this was one of the coolest releases of 2020. I just played the shit out of this. Tell us about Body Divide. What make that different from your longstanding project, Cervello Electronico?
Oh, Body Divide is just like old school EBM. It's a fun thing, you know. It's nothing, and you know, like the Cervello stuff is more. That stuff was kind of more of a freedom to do whatever I wanted to do, go as hard as I wanted to do, you know, experimental stuff, go soft, whatever I wanted to do. This is more a focused. I don't want to say it's like selling out, but it's a more focused sound.
Okay,
where I'm playing to like this resurgence of EBM, old school EBM that has become. Has got an audience now, and it's a lot of fun because it's stuff that I always wanted to do on a stage. We did a tour with Dive.
Cool.
So we opened up with Dive. Yeah, and it was great. We played a clinic cover.
Nice.
And Peter, who travels with Dirk, Dirk told him, he was like, "Oh, I like this one. This one is good." And Peter was like, this is your song. They're covering your song. So we did it in a way that it was just,
that's hilarious.
Our own. But Chris is someone that I met here in LA, and he's got this like raw energy. And I really don't know too much about him. He's kind of a mystery to me, but he's great because when we work together, he's to the point. Whenever we record, I tell him what I need to arrange, and he's good with that. And he's got such a voice, like it reminds me of like a Jazz Coleman, like yell, growl. He's got like a lot of raw energy, and I like that. And I wanted some other body on stage to do that, like while I was doing my thing. And before pandemic, we had a lot of plans for that, like new release, and then also some more tour dates and stuff. We're looking to play in Mexico once it gets better, and although from what I've heard, you can go down there and play certain places, but there's no way I want to put my life and others in danger for doing that. Like and then there's some European prospects with that, like the Body Divide thing. So it's a more concentrated, like more accessible thing, because Cervello isn't for everybody, and people can't even remember the name sometimes or spell the name, and they don't know what it is. They don't know what it sounds like, so this is something musically that I can do that maybe people, more people would be into,
Yeah. No, I feel you on that.
Because music is, you should know, because your project, you do things that people want more, you do. It's attractive, like you're not alienating them too much, it's fun to go to a gospel show, and then or any other your projects, fun to see that energy, and like you focus, you have detail on certain things, like people, like artists, like and it's amazing to me like what you could do with that. So as opposed to being an artist and saying, what, I'm gonna do my music, and if you like it, I don't care if nobody listens to it. Like as an artist, sometimes you want other people to listen to it and like enjoy it.
Yeah,
So
well,
that's one of the things. That's why body divide is.
totally right. Like, I mean, I feel that actually, because like the gossicles have always just been weird and whatever I come up with, and it's fine. And I started this gasoline invertebrate thing to just sort of uh, ape the whole agrotech sort of be God module or whatever, and that was crystallizing just that sort of modus. Like, this is I have a lane for this. It was like hitting a speed strip in a video game. Like, I can just shoot forward because I know exactly what I'm doing with this particular project, and if it doesn't work, I have this, I can put it in the gossicles bin. It's like it's going to collect anything that drops out. It's how I viewed it anyway. So it sounds like Body Divide might have been a pretty fun time for you. Um,
Lots more fun to be had.
well, you are not wrong, nor do you sleep, because we also have Damascus Knives. This is amazing. Tell me a little. Give me the 411 on Damascus Knives.
So again, it's something more accessible, something more palatable for people, and it's got the old school EBM sound, but also I love acid house and like acid
Totally.
music, and like to mix the two. And what Clack is doing is really fun. So I'm not trying to be Clack. Clack I think is more homage to old school acid house, and you could hear it. But I think with Damascus Knives, for me, it's more dancey, maybe more club stuff.
I would definitely agree. Well, let's take a listen to it. Here's some Damascus Knives. And yes, that was some dope shit. What's up to Dan of Vein Collector Missing and Stars in the chat room? You
Hi,
can
Dan.
you can get Damascus Knives.
Hi, Dan.
Hi on Bandcamp. Or do you collect all the SquareWave stuff at like a Bandcamp, or should we go to individual artist pages?
I promote all my artists, so if you want to go to SquareWave, I should have.
That's just at
like,
SquareWave.com.
Yeah, SquareWave.com, one-stop shop. With
Awesome.
SquareWave without the E, SquareWave.com. But yeah, just to talk about that, like I've noticed the diversity of guests that you've had on your show, and it's pretty cool. I like it. I like tuning in, and
cool, man. Thanks.
Most of the people you have on your show, I'm not familiar with. I know it's like East Coast people, or just a different scene.
Well, I'm doing a little bit of an excavation because I've been in Boston for like 2 years, but like really a year, just because I've been inside for since the pandemic. So I'm doing a lot of excavation of some artists, but then I get an opportunity to sort of really figure out what's going on with a lot of high output people like you. So thanks for joining us all the way from LA.
I've been here in LA for 12 years, so I just feel like I'm finally learning things, and
okay.
It's taken this long, it's just kind of crazy.
Good to know.
It just takes some time, and feeling out, and meeting people, and which isn't the easiest thing in our scene for our people, is meeting new people.
I've found that it's easier for me to do it over a computer on a couch in space. So this is the solution I developed. So thank you for showing up on my coping mechanism. I'm curious as to the method. Like, I've been a fan of you since Killer Instinct. Like, just loving it. What these days, are you drawn to like any particular gear or VST or DAW or anything like that?
I'm not really big on all that stuff. I'm more fascinated with samples and
Okay.
sampling. That's what got me into electronic music was
Really?
those electronic acts like Orbital, Underworld, and the fact that you could make music out of samples
Oh,
and
okay, cool.
the samples create grooves, and you add a drum machine to that, and I love sampling, and the I guess I did get one of the Behringer clones.
Nice.
But that's like for a different project,
Yet
not the
another
Cervelo
project.
project.
Uh,
There are too many to even list right
I
now.
hear you on that, man. They do multiply. Uh, Speaking of something in which you are also abundant, I know you to be an exceptionally well-traveled man. You've circled the globe many times over. Um, what I'm curious as your general sort of cosmic thoughts on travel, if you will. Like, what's something like travel teaches a body?
Well, I'm 41. I'm gonna be 42. I don't know when I'm gonna be traveling to tour again,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I was punishing my body,
Mm.
because usually, like, okay, you want a hotel after the club and you want to sleep, and then you travel back home. I would just party, hang
Mm-hmm.
out with people, hang out with other musicians, even though it wasn't like a backstage rock star party, even focusing on one person, having a really cool conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like, hang out after the show, after I play the show, and meet people and hang out and take the first flight. As somebody who knows the airline industry very well, always take the first flight. I mean, there's less of a chance of your flight canceling or anything
Just
happening if you
first
take
flight in the day, you mean?
first flight in the day.
Okay.
Always take the first flight. You
All
never
right.
know what's going to happen. I know it's brutal,
Right.
but that's why I would always just stay up all night, take that first flight. You should see me through TSA. I'm miserable. I'm like, sometimes I'm hungover. I'm just like, I just want to
Right.
get on that plane, and then I just pass out on the plane, and it just feels like I'm teleported home.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, traveling, it's great because you want at least a little bit of time in the city that you're at to just like kind of, because you never know as an artist, like if you're ever going to be there again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I never knew if I was going to be in Portland, Oregon again when the first time I went, but I ended
Right.
up being like visiting there so many times, and it feels like a second home. And then
Awesome.
where else was I at? Springfield, Iowa. I forgot one of these. Boise, Idaho.
Okay.
That was another one I haven't been back since. But it's interesting to just like go somewhere that you've never been before and talk to people and see what's up.
Totally. Yeah. Like, I mean, and a lot of times people are happy to show you around because it's stuff they've never seen. Like, I was in Helsinki and I just looked up the closest museum, and the guy's like, "You want to go there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know, I'm coming back to Helsinki." It's just like the the history of the city, I think. And he's like, I didn't even know this was here, man. So that was
Oh
cool.
yeah.
And like, when anybody ever comes, like if my parents come to visit Boston, I just, don't know where we are, but it's great. Like we found this out for you. So yeah,
Boston's great, but I love visiting Boston, especially like Cambridge area.
it's really cool.
There's like a haunted cemetery there in Boston that I always wanted to go to.
Yeah.
And they even do like a tour.
Oh, I'll
It's
have to
like,
check that out.
I love that shit. I love going to haunted places. Before pandemic, every Halloween I made it a point to do something special, like around the time of going, of Halloween. And that, I mean, that's a great thing about being able to travel is like you can do things last minute. You could find deals.
Okay.
A couple years ago, after the last Machine Infest, I think it was The Nun that I saw, and I was like, "Fuck this! I want to go to Transylvania for Halloween." so I ended up like after Machine Infest taking like a plane to Bucharest and then this train, and it was kind of like
You went to
the opening.
Transylvania for Halloween.
Yeah.
That's
It was like the week before.
Okay,
But
what's like it's a region of Romania, so far as I know it, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a whole
Okay.
region. It's not just one city, but it's going there. The schedules. I'm sure now it's even worse, but the schedules were so off. There's like no way
Okay.
to really connect. That's why I took the train, and it was just like the opening to Transylvania 65000. Like dude, you're going through the train with like hills and like
Okay.
snow and like crazy shit and like, but it
Awesome.
was really beautiful. And going there, everyone was really at first it's off-putting. Like in Bucharest, like a bigger city, they weren't that friendly. But
Okay.
I went to Bram, and that's the city that's closer to Brasov. I went to Brasov, which is close to Bram, which is where the Dracula castle is.
Okay.
But it's not where Vlad the Impaler stayed. He might have been there, but
Hmm.
it's a spooky castle that everyone dubs the Dracula castle.
Okay.
And I was just telling my girlfriend this before. Like this guy was like this American. It sucks when you're an American and you see or hear another American say something really stupid. And
Oh
you're just
no.
like, I am not an American. Like
Yeah.
you want to say that, but I'm proud to be an American.
There
But
you
yeah,
go.
we were in Dracula's castle, and I overheard him. He's like, this really isn't Dracula's castle, And I felt like smacking him. It's like, there is no fucking Dracula. It doesn't exist. Like this guy's like clinging on to like, well, this isn't the real Dracula's castle. I mean, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful castle, one of the cheapest places in Europe to visit.
Okay.
So I recommend going to Romania. And I can't wait to go back to that region of Europe. I was gonna play the Wroclaw Industrial Festival.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was last fall, and that didn't happen. So I'm hoping
I've
they're
applied
able to
to
do
it.
it. Mhm.
I commend you on getting in.
It looks like a really cool place and festival and stuff. Never been to Poland, so
Awesome. Well, once the world opens back up, if we don't melt,
yeah.
let's check it out. Let's smash cut to at least one hypothetical. It's a little bit of a space couch tradition. Um, we've had these discussions before, but I know you to be a fellow Thundercats aficionado. Uh,
I
w-
love it. I do not like the last cartoon that came out. It
I
was just too goofy.
Thundercats Roar or whatever. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
Oh.
I'm going through all the originals right now, episode by episode. Um,
If you
and
have I think it's HBO Max that
yeah,
they have the remake. It's not. It's
2011 one.
yeah.
Okay.
They have those.
I
It
hear
was
those are good.
or maybe Hulu. It might have been Hulu. Yeah,
Okay,
those are amazing. I wish they would have had a second season. They only did one season.
I'll check it
And
out.
original Lionel is in it. Original like
Oh wow.
voices. Like some original voices are in it. Like which is pretty cool.
Oh well, that I'll definitely get through that. Yeah, I got a few more episodes to go on. I mean, I watched it all, and then I'm doing like a little bit of a nightly ritual. If which of you say I'm gonna go just 1985 versions. Which of the Thundercats do you think would most embody SquareWave Productions?
Well, starting out, it would definitely have to be Snarf.
There you go.
Very clumsy,
You were
but
nom de plume for many years.
well, very, very like good-hearted, clumsy, friendly,
Okay.
but just
All
want to
right.
help out, but maybe like too afraid to do certain things and like, lovable,
Yeah, well,
Uh,
no, that's a great answer. Like,
mhm.
not in your face, but saves the day pretty much all the time. Never quite gets the credit they or accolades deserved. Uh,
and
and
now like seeing all the younger people,
mhm.
doing music and DJing and all this stuff and all the artists around me, like, and finding out their real age, now I kind of feel like a Jaga, like
Well,
almost,
or you've moved into that weird Uncle Osbert when they brought on that horrible Snarfer character.
yeah.
But yeah, I do like Jaga though, just this ghostly like presence, like no, write the song in B minor, like
Well, yeah, I don't. That's another thing. Like I don't try to overstep, any artists that
Mm.
that I work with. Do your thing. That's why I want to collaborate with you, is because that you are who you are, not because I want to
Yeah.
shape you into someone.
Totally. No,
You know.
you're not that at all, but your energy is just unbounded.
Well,
Speaking
you
of
want that's what you want to do. Sorry,
go on.
but
No. Hell yeah.
that's what you want to do. You want to push out that energy because I'm gonna get into some hippie shit, but
Hell
like
yeah.
whatever you throw out is what you're gonna get back.
100%.
If you throw out a whole bunch of negative energy and stuff, like you're gonna get that back, and it goes with any little thing, an argument, anything. And I just find it's at this stage of my life, just go forward with positive, and whatever sticks or comes back, it'll all be good. It'll all be beneficial. So
when it becomes self-fueling, right? I mean, I know this because I fall into this trap all the time personally, but like if I'm just pissy all day, then guess what? That fuels that anger into the next day tomorrow. But if I can get on like this positivity, asymptote, it's just I can approach more as I go forward. For me,
well, and it's also, don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm saying blind optimism,
sure,
and just like being fake, but at least try to look and find something positive out of something else. Like I started to read up about like Taoism, and that's kind of an interesting philosophy. It's just like kind of accepting what things are, not going against, like resistance, but also there's a way for you to, have that energy and force without, having to push forth. Like if you're going against something negative, you look at it, you accept it, but the more you push, the more negative you're going to get back. So it is a very like complicated.
I kind of got chills right there, man. That was awesome.
It's really helped me. It's helped me not only with DJ sets, but also just with life things, shitty things that happen in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, if something really shitty happens to you, like it happened. What are you gonna do that's gonna make that better? You just got to accept that it happened, and you have to like, come to terms with it, but also find yourself, find a way to love yourself, and like move forward.
Man, personally, you're saying that at just the right time. I just had so much like, first world problems, but like frustrating, like for like music software like shut down and I lost a track, and like none of my 3D prints were working out, and just all this sort of shit, and yeah. But if I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to just sort of get back to neutral. You know what I mean? Just accept it and move on. I did.
Yeah. So maybe the lost track you made was kind of crappy.
Maybe
like
it
you
was,
didn't know about it, and what it did was help you move forward to make something better.
I love that. I love that.
It's a good way to think about that.
What's up, too? Yeah. Robert of Snow Beast. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Robert. See, Robert's streamed and with the Snow Beasts before on our channel a few times.
Shout out to Snow Beast. Big shout out to Snow Beast for mastering the Putting the Stars Right compilation, out now on Tiger Swat. The guy is a machine, and
very talented dude. Love the live set.
So good.
Was that? I saw him in Boston. It was
nice.
One of those festivals that definitely put on.
Yes, definitely. Who's the other Gossicle now? Actually, for Boston shows, okay. Yeah, I've incorporated him into the madness. Speaking of,
one of those festivals was just brutal. We played it like
was that Voidstar, like Deathly's thing?
Yeah, yeah. But it was something where it was like I don't know why I want to keep saying Knights of Columbus, but it was like, or one of those like spaces that you rented, but it was like 100 degrees.
Oh no!
And we couldn't open a window because it would be too loud.
Oh
So
no!
just sweat was dripping, and I was like, "Oh, this is horrible."
Oh yeah, I've played those shows where it's just like the ceiling is wet from condensed sweat. Just these human cattle box shows.
Not Corona friendly at all.
Oh my god! Probably started at Deathly Fest 25. Started the coronavirus.
Probably, yeah.
Speaking of moving towards the light, you are looking lean and mean these days, man.
Oh, thank you.
What
that means a lot.
You working out? You eating right? What's up?
I think at a certain point in your life, getting back to me going a little deep before.
Hell yeah, I love it.
You just realize and it has nothing to do with. It might not have anything to do with like you physically getting your shit together, but maybe you don't like yourself, you don't love yourself, you don't feel like you deserve things in life, So you kind of have to like work through that, and get better that way. But after that, and it could take like a tragedy, something like in your life that's happened that really shook you, like a moment in your life that really just like, like a death or a breakup or, something, or, losing your home or something like that, that really, strikes something inside you, that'll just push you to love yourself, to be better, a better person. So once you get past that, everyone, I know it's like a huge fad, is the keto thing, right? It's a little dangerous because a lot of the keto people gravitate towards meat, and it's like you're gonna clog your arteries with all that protein. So I think the important thing to take from that is sugar.
Yeah,
refined sugar is the devil's tool.
It is. No, I feel you on that. I'm the same way.
Yeah. So cut out refined sugar, and just like even like starches. People like are about the carbs, but it's really the starches. Like, so I would, food prep, and now I do like these hikes, which are really great mentally for me, and physically it helps me. And even just walking, like during the pandemic, just walking around in a circle in my neighborhood, with my mask, distancing myself from people, like it, just kind of helps you.
Hell yeah, man!
Active. You look great, by the way, too.
Oh, thanks, dude. Thanks, dude. Been lifting quite a bit.
Noticed. Yeah.
I gotta I gotta do a lap on this because I start a new side project every 16 seconds. I want to see if I can rope in some more. I know we haven't even touched Crimes AM. Give us the Twitter version of Crimes AM.
Dark synth pop.
Okay, awesome. Is that out of LA mostly? Or is that you? Yeah. That's you and somebody else, yeah? Or is that just you?
It's me and the lovely lady behind me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've been on stage as Crimes AM actually twice, maybe. I don't know. Was it in Portland too? No, at least twice here in LA. Me and the lovely lady behind me.
That's amazing.
Who still does not have a name.
Oh no. Okay. Well, 2021 goals.
Well, that's another one of those projects that can't happen until the pandemic is over and needs promotion. Like,
okay,
everything just, to me, like personally, like as an artist, and like also with the label, I have different plans for different projects. I just feel like you can't do things, the same for every single project.
Absolutely.
Say with the Travello, I tried a few times like to do some live sets, but I can't do a live set streaming. It's not me. Like,
really?
Okay. Yeah, so I just do DJ sets or hybrid sets. Hybrid sets are a lot of fun, because that's like playing other records, but also incorporating like drum machines or synths and stuff like that. That's a lot of fun. But I can't do a Cervello set. Like
Really?
it's
Because I've seen you play in Cervello a number of times, and they're great. It's just, is it capturing the energy, or where's that barrier for you for the? I shouldn't say
yeah.
barrier, but impediment to just wanting to do it. Let's say.
Well, there's a moment that I'm sure you know is when you go out and you kind of think through your mind like, shit, am I gonna fuck up? Am I gonna forget something?
Yeah.
You know, and then like that kind of feeds into your energy, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, you get into it, and then you get into a zone, and it goes back to the Taoist thing, which I didn't know until I read up about it, but it's kind of like a jogger's or runner's uh, when a runner is moving, but they don't realize they're moving and they're not feeling resistance. They're just like doing what they're doing. And it's kind of the same when you're DJing or performing.
Yeah.
You're just performing. You're not thinking,
Oh man.
oh, I'm going to do this next. I'm going to do that next. Like you're just doing because you know how to do it. You've done it before. And you have that room in your mind to at least enjoy it, you know, or, you know, feel that energy from the audience. And you get a different energy on Twitch because Twitch is very interactive, but you
Yeah.
have to type and, you know, some people with the microphone, they talk and, but yeah, that's a different experience.
It
I
is.
can't do that. I need
That is
like,
such a good answer.
I
Oh my
need the
God.
energy in the room, you know?
For me, it's about somewhere between track 2 and track 3 in a live set. It turns for me, and I get that runner's high you're talking about. And it's like the I can feel the audience turn. Like, okay, now I get this skinny guy yelling about his balls. Like, now I understand it.
Well, then
And
also like during your set, I don't know if you've ever had like some issue during your set where something fucked up, you know,
yeah,
like some technical issue. It's almost like a little bit of comfort when that happens because you're like, okay, now I got to focus on fixing this.
right.
You know, it's like, okay, I don't have to worry about falling because I fell. You know, so now I got to pick myself back up. I got to, you know, focus on that energy and then just keep going, keep rolling into the
Right.
set, you know?
And now it's if I fuck up, the stream goes down, or people have to like look at me checking my phone to get the stream back up or something like that. It's a completely different energy. I do like it. I do like playing live. I would check it out. I'm very interested in trying a hybrid set now, though, based on your description of it. That sounds quite interesting.
Oh, I love it. It takes a lot of pressure of doing a full live set, but it's not. I mean, it's not to say that that's really easy to do. It's still like a challenge. But you definitely have to be a good, decent DJ. You like know how to beat match and
Okay.
you know, because everything can kind of fall apart.
It can.
I don't know. I've been looking into this and I've been looking for I guess is there a model of DJ rig that can sync MIDI sync at least, you know, with rhythm for a drum machine? Maybe there is. I'm new to the DJ thing.
They don't work amazingly. I looked into it for doing it live. No one's really cracked it. But
there is a clock sync from like a DJ mixer to a drum machine or a synth or
like a Red Sound makes a device or made a device. It's just this company out of Germany called Red Sound. It's there's like a Korg K-oscillator or Chaos pad. Some models have that like kick detection thing, and it's yeah, you're just use your ears. Alan and Heath says Mr. Mentot. We'll check that out.
Okay. Well, yeah, you got to be. I mean, Daryl Hell is great. Like
he's amazing.
Yeah, so I think he could do something like that. You know, he's great with rhythm and like keeping things in time. And you know, I got to strive to be like a Daryl Hell if I want.
He had a great episode of Space Couch.
You know?
And yeah, I saw him. Definitely's a big fan. I met him actually at Definitely's house. He showed me a set that he did with Svechka, who I also saw on your Wavecast. So it was this.
Yeah, she is great too.
She's amazing.
She's great DJing and she's
and
doing
I watched that with
music
Scrap EDX was in the room, and he's like, "This is unreal."
Oh man, I haven't seen that dude.
Right?
I think we dropped him off from like a Canadian festival, or was it Providence Festival? Or I forgot. I remember being in the car with him, and we dropped him off, and Yeah, he lived in somewhere nice.
He looks he
With
looks
woods.
great. He looks a lot different, and so like I was at definitely David's house, and he's like, "You remember this guy?" And I'm like, "Ah," and he's like, "Scrap BDX, what? Oh my God, Black Sun Festival." Ah! So that was cool.
I think that was it. I think that was the
Black
Sun
Sun
Festival.
Festival. Hell yeah.
That was one, yeah.
We gotta bring this flying couch back into the station, but Dre says Tractor can do it. What's up to Ryan Bates?
Well, I kind of had a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
And I don't know in Space Couch if you like to get into like drama and stuff, or you want to play it safe.
No, we can do it.
I just have a question for you, like, and it's kind of been around the internet for a while. I don't know if you know the band Aesthetic Perfection.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've never heard of him. Yeah.
Oh no, just curious. No, I'm friends with Dan. I know him for like a long time. But he brings up the case that there is a genre called industrial pop.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I have the fealty or the wherewithal to police genres, but
well, no, let's not say like police, meaning like you should go around telling people don't say that you're, but what, as a musician, as somebody in the scene, what do you think of the concept of having a genre like that, labeled like that?
I mean,
it can be vague, right? It can be like, oh, well, you could say that Nine Inch Nails is industrial pop.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Like, the case could be made that it's an oxymoron, right? Like, you go to industrial music when you're 14 because you can't deal with the pop, let's say.
It's counterculture, yeah. Counter the mainstream, right?
Right, but I mean, there is like a jock nerd crossover, meaning like two sort of scenes, if you will, that don't normally mesh, but like could hash it out over like baseball cards and sports statistics and stuff like that. So like, yeah, I will say I did not expect this question at all. I've never even thought about it.
Well, what about structurally?
Short
or like
answer, sure.
The way it sounds, not even like popularity, but let's say, merging pop music with
hell yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that's fine. Like, I kind of do it myself, to be a little bit honest, in terms of like songs go verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, boom. Like, that's kind of my song structure. So sure, I don't know if I can honestly answer the question, because my only interaction with whatever you would call pop music heretofore was whatever the guy was playing in the Uber. And I haven't taken an Uber in a year and a half. So, like, I don't know. Industrial pop, sure. Why not?
Well, that seems to be like the sort of buzz, right? Or has been for a couple of years now. But do you think that's where industrial is moving towards, or like a more exciting area of industrial? Or is that where like somebody would say like, hey, I want to listen to some industrial? Like, is that somewhere you would recommend somebody? Like, I want to hear some new industrial. Would you point them in that direction?
I would not. It's difficult. Like, if somebody goes, "What's industrial music?" I go like, it's a huge term. Like, okay, this guy from the '80s and this dude in the vinyl pants and this guy with the gas mask, they're all industrial. And this hypothetical inductee would be like, what? And be like, yeah, it's all kind of under that label. I don't know if I would point them to. I don't even know what industrial pop would be. But
well, it's kind of strange, like, I've done this before, but like when somebody who doesn't know about industrial music, they ask you like, oh, can you recommend some
Okay.
bands and stuff? You tend to go backward, right? You tend to go, oh, well, you got to listen to Ministry or Front Two. You got to, you tell them bands or songs that happened like 30, even 40 years ago, you know. But I'm just curious, like why we don't like go towards newer music and say like, oh, hey, you should check out this Light Asylum track. Like
Light Asylum makes some great music. The best T-shirt Caustic ever put out just says "Sure" like Nine Inch Nails. I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever heard. But it's a great point. Like it's like it. Don't let me put words in your mouth, but you know, we do sort of tend to be like, all good music stopped in 1992. And then you can be like, well, no, there's this new whatever Necro Facility or Chrome Corpse or any of that, and it's all pretty amazing. I think.
Did you find out about the Necro Facility, dude?
Yeah, right. I mean, that's why I brought that up.
That's, I guess that might be industrial pop, but not really.
Maybe. Well, I was on. I don't know if you've ever done Josh Guyan's show, the Australian radio show. He asked me to pick 5 tracks, and I brought out a Prince song from 1995 called "Loose." It is by any definition an industrial song. You'd be like, "Is this KMFDM?" And then Prince lyrics comes on. What the fuck? It's amazing. It's called "Loose." Josh did a little research, find out it was done by the Battery Guy. It's like, wow. What? So like maybe it's kind of always gone on, and now we just sort of have this genre super collider that we can put these phrases into, and industrial pop comes out. Sure, why not? It's not a well-formed thought, but I think it's ladies and gentlemen. Restream has just given me an award for 100 messages received today with Restream chat. That's never happened. Woo! Congratulations on setting a record, sir.
It was all because of the power of Satan.
It is. Well, you know, we thank our Dark Lord and
praise your Dark Lord.
Not only Tiger Squawk Records, but Space Couch is brought to you today by the Left Hand Path. So thank you to Beelzebub.
We appreciate you.
Anything else you want to say about industrial pop?
Well, not more focused on industrial pop, but just kind of where I feel the scene is going, you know, and where we should kind of look for more interesting parts of the scene. Mm-hmm. And you know, it's interesting, and you know, to reflect back and see like the type, and I'm sure like there are anomalies and there are exceptions, but for the most part, for like the past 20 years, it just seems like it's been boring with not much diversity, you know. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy now that a lot of like women and a lot of persons of color are getting into the scene, you know. So I think like that's where we should be looking. It's like if you look at the root of industrial music, and you know, to counter the mainstream, and you know, to kind of you know, look at subversive music, you know, like you have to look for people who are oppressed, you know, like who have challenges, who want a voice, who don't have that voice, and like that's what makes interesting music, period. But also for industrial music, I think that's where the energy,
very cool, you know,
comes from. So I think there are a lot of artists now that even might not have the resources that we have. You know, we're lucky to have our resources. Like I'm lucky to have my Ableton. I always think if I had a time machine, I would go back to like the year 2000 and give myself a laptop with Ableton, and I would be like, I can make so many awesome albums, you know. But
you don't have to drill 5 levels down on this Yamaha QY10 with the LCD screen that's that big. But
I don't even want to tell you what I had. It was just such a, you know, I'm embarrassed. But one of the things was a Fostex 8-track recorder, and I was trying to do like copy Ministry songs, on my guitar. I was like, hey, this sounds new. Like, it's not Ministry. This is me,
Well, I will volunteer that I just put out a kids album, so maybe we can usher in the new crop that way. But
yeah, but yeah, I also just wanted to say that I am grateful and thankful that I have a lot of good friends, and I'm thankful for my privilege, my opportunities, things that came my way. And another thing is, I think we should all kind of reach out as well. We don't have to do that. We can just think of ourselves, but I think it's great to reach out opportunities to people that that need that assistance. So just a closing thought,
Well, you've been doing it with the charity shows. You want to check out SquareWAV TV, or excuse me, SquareWAV.com on Wednesday for the Women in Electronic Music show. We got into Body Divide, Damascus Knives, Crimes AM, Tibia, a little bit of Cervello. Anything else you want to toss out here on Space Couch?
There's so much.
There's so
we'll
much.
Be here all day.
We'll be here. Check it all out at SquareWAV.com.
SquareWAV.com has it all.
All right. This is, I'm just going to bring this back on into the station. This is Brian for Space Couch, for David, for the 3,000 things we just mentioned, saying, call the spaceships to Davenport, prepare for Divanarchy, interface with a couch in space. Space Couch out. Space Couch out. David, this was an amazing episode. Oh my God. This was a really good one. Oh,
sorry to throw you off there with the question.
Please, more of that.
That was fun.
Consider this an open invite for anything you'd ever want to plug on Space Couch or come back. This was
awesome.
A kick-ass
I
episode.
I hope when things are back and you're traveling, you come back, make it this way.
We will hit LA.
Well, hey. I hear you cutting out. Maybe it's the compressor.
Okay. Well, I'll catch you offline. All right. Later, dude.
All right. Bye.